everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. You might notice that I have a new message on my pinned part there. Normally it says, you can support me by sending stars. It now says, don't bother. And this is because since October of last year, I was approved for the stars feature, which allows you to donate while I'm live by sending stars. And theoretically, those donations are supposed to come to me. But since October of last year, I've been back and forth with Facebook countless times, probably talking to a bot saying, I'm getting all these statements that I'm earning these donations, I'm earning these stars, but I have not been paid out, not one dime. And I keep on getting messages back that I'm not the financial administrator. So I'm not the financial administrator of my own account. Makes sense. Please put a pause on that. Thank you so much to those of you that in good faith have sent me stars thinking that you were supporting me. I do appreciate you so much. But unfortunately, all those stars are just extra money for Facebook right now. I have gotten some ad break money from them, but this whole process is discouraging and frustrating because it's hard enough to go independent. And then the little ways that you can try and sustain what you're doing and support your family are sabotaged by these big corporations that pick and choose who should be able to be supported for their work. So I'm a bit frustrated today, and that's why the message is, aw, thank you, Rick Haggett. That helps me a little bit. So thank you so much again for your support. I'm going to be talking about another way that you can support my work. Any little bit helps. I don't know how long I can stay here on this platform so first of all, one way that you can support me is following my locals page. I have the link there in the pinned comment. You just go to christyleetv.locals.com. I really want to ramp up my efforts and quit messing around on this throttled system of Facebook and YouTube. Hello to anybody that is joining me from YouTube, but it's the same way. I really, really want to get away from that. It's very difficult. I've been on Facebook since 2013 and managed to make 92,000 of you my friends. Most of you, some of you are not so friendly, but that's okay because I support free speech. You can even insult me and you have the freedom to do that, and I will defend your right to do that. So it's really all about free speech. Even that number, 92,000, is so misconstrued. I'll grow and then they'll stop me. And I'll see, like, multiple times I've seen 200 people or so, up, give or take, will all decide on the same day and at the same exact time that, they don't like me and that they're not following me anymore. It's really such a coincidence that these people all decide at the same exact time and day to just join together and stop following my page. But Twitter does that as well. I've been pointing that out on Twitter. Thank you, Clyde McGowan. Thank you everyone that has supported me. But please, I'm begging you, I don't know how long we can be connected on this platform. So please do it right now. Go to christyleetv.locals.com, christyleetv.locals.com, or follow and sign up so I can stay connected to you on my website, klim.news. klim.news or christyleetv.com. All right. So today we're talking about actually another way that you can support me, which is I've joined forces with a company called Patriot Switch. And I was just really fascinated with the whole concept. We talk about not supporting big corporations like the platform that we're on, and also just major brands that contribute to the media machine, the propaganda puppets that are lying to you, the corporate interests that filter what the news anchors say on those platforms. They continue to lie to you, and you're funding them. I mean, that's the bottom line. You're funding them through corporate buying just your goods at Target and Walmart. When you're buying those products, you're funding that big media machine that lies to the American people. So this company reached out about a partnership, sponsorship kind of a situation where if we can start getting people to switch to products that support people like me, support independent journalists, and those that love America and want to stop this media machine, then that's what we're going to do. So I have Enrico and Sean that I'm going to bring in. Hello, Enrico, and hello, Sean. Were you guys able to hear all that? I'm not. Okay,
yep,
good.
Yep,
Okay.
We got it.
All right, great. I'm still learning all the technical aspects. News anchors work really hard. They do. Reporters work even harder most of the time and make like no money. It is more like when you get to the level of being a news anchor that you can actually make more money. But it's the reporters on the ground that do a ton of work and get paid nothing. Most people don't know that. But when people say like talking head or whatever, of course, you're going to find that insulting because it's a lot of work. We write most of what we're reading. Good anchors will rewrite what the Associated Press, what comes down from the wire, which I frequently did because I never wanted to end up on one of those compilations where anchors are all saying the same thing. So I'm like, I'm completely rewriting the script. So I will never be on one where they're all saying the same thing. But in the sense of that you're supposed to concentrate on the writing and the delivery. I haven't had to do a lot of the technical aspects of delivering news and interviewing people. And so, gosh, this has been quite the learning curve. And most of my viewers are so gracious with me about how I'm trying to learn all this. It's been a slow process. I'm an old dog learning new tricks. But we want to talk about Patriot Switch. So yeah, I was fascinated when you guys were telling me about it. So I don't know which one of you wants to go first. Who was first on board, Enrico or Sean?
That was Sean. Sean's okay. the brains behind the whole thing, actually.
Okay, so Sean, do you want to kind of start telling me how Patriot Switch was born, what it is, and how you got involved?
Yes, absolutely. So Patriot Switch was born, honestly, shortly after the election. It was just a group of us sitting around talking and like, oh boy, what do we do now? And as we're sitting there realizing that any hope we had of the government correcting itself, even if that's a slim sliver of a hope, was long delayed. And so the whole agenda that we had was, what can we do as average Americans? Because I know there's millions of us out here that want to do something to make a difference, want to contribute positively to our country, and don't want to go to jail. I mean, that, in all honesty, and it's like, what do we still have control over? And what I quickly realized as articles are coming out is we still control where we spend our money. And we've done a terrible job of that over the last 4 or 5 decades. As these systems have been built around us, it seems like everywhere we turn, we're supporting the left agenda. And if it's convenient, it supports their agenda. If it's obscure and off the wall and hard to manage, it seems to be our agenda. And it's like, why have we let them do this? Because we stand in line every week of our lives to hand them our money. And so our goal was just, what alternatives can we find for people that actually love America still, that refuse to be part of this, we'll call it this cartel that runs our economy, and that everything funnels back to their agenda. And then we wonder why we can't get anything done on our side of the aisle. And it's not even a Republican, Democrat. It's 99%ers and the few that are trying to overtake the world right now. And finding a way for us to cut them out all the way to the root was our goal. And I'm ecstatic about what we found, and it's had such huge success. And to add to that, we've been able to use it as a way to fund our new media, because we all know the mainstream media, it's completely corrupt, in their pocket. They say whatever they're told to say, but our media can't even ask questions because they get cut off. You you're the prime example. Fighting just for your stars. And you're sitting there like, how do I make this work? I want to explore the truth and find the truth. You don't have an agenda. You just want to know what the truth is. And
Yeah, and Sean, that was supposed to be the biggest tenet of journalism is seek truth and being able to deliver it. And some people will say, you want both sides shared, but now you're sharing one side. And I'm like, I don't feel that way. I feel that I am bringing balance. If the ultimate goal of journalism is to bring balance and to make sure that people are hearing from all sides, then what I'm doing is being another tenet of journalism, a voice for the voiceless, directing my attention to those that get shut down, directing my attention to the topics that many don't get to hear about because of this media machine. And therefore, I'm helping in a small way, maybe, to bring balance. We were just talking about that yesterday when I was interviewing a congressional candidate that has been smeared by the media machine. The same players always. MSNBC, Politico, and AP all wrote hit pieces on him, and he's like scrambling to prove that what he said is true now because they held this information for 2 months. But if you Google him now, you're only going to see the defamatory articles that are written, and not he's still playing catch up to defend himself. So I interviewed him and allowed him to share his side. But again, if you Google him now, all you're going to see is the one side. So how is that true journalism? How is that fair? So that's what I do, is I'm trying to direct my attention to somewhat get those scales a little bit back even. And this is what happens to us. We're suppressed, we're cheated, we're harassed. But again, I have a comment here. Let's see. Jody says, I'm so lame. So Jody, thank you so much for your contribution to the conversation. And to Jody and anyone else that likes to get on here and just mudsling, I'm here to support your freedom to tell me I'm lame. I mean, how is that feel? Like, to be able to speak what you feel. I support your right to speak how you feel. And that's what I'm here for. I support free speech. Everyone should be able to be heard, even those that just want to use their voices to throw insults. That's fine. It's freedom of speech. And that's what I'm here to support. And that's what I know Sean and Enrico are here to support. So Enrico, how did you get involved in all of this?
It was shortly after Sean started with this, and we were members of the same forum, and brought it to me. And as soon as I heard what it is, what we're doing, I jumped right in. I love the idea. I didn't know where it was going to go, like where we're at a year and a half later. But since then, yeah, I mean, it's been great. And it's something we could all do. We all can't be activists and go to rallies. We have jobs. But this is something that everybody can do. Everybody has to shop, and they make the decision who they're going to give their money to. Do you want to fund critical race theory and Planned Parenthood, or do you want to fund true American patriots? And it's very uncomplicated what we do, but very important the way I see it.
And so for those that, people are going to be coming in and out, we're talking with Patriot Switch. Basically, they're a company that allows you to not have to take out of your wallet additional money, but the goal is to have you switch that money that you're using to support companies that pay for the media machine, pay for the things that you don't want. You're not directly, but you're indirectly supporting those when you buy products from Walmart and Target, the traditional ones. Maybe give me some examples of, if you can, either of you, what products that are commonly bought that then support a lot of the things that actually most Americans don't want to be supportive of.
Sure. I mean, it's a good exercise once you kind of start thinking about it. Is when I wake up in the morning, even from the time I wake up till the time I leave the door to go to work or wherever, what actual products am I picking up? The toothpaste, the shampoo, the conditioner, the breakfast bar, I mean, you name it, every single day we're using the stuff of life. And when I realized that over 90% of it is owned by the same group, we look down the aisles of the stores. In fact, on the website, there's that circle of illusion that you'll see. We think we have all these choices and brands to choose from, whether it be the natural and healthy or the less expensive brands. They're all owned by the same people. It's the only way you get shelf space anymore in a national chain is you become part of their club. And until we kind of realize that we have to stop funding that beast and look for alternatives. And I think our media has done great in the last few years of bringing the truth out and opening people's eyes and letting them see what's actually happening. But this allows us to actually have an action step we can take to actually make a difference. Because for me, I'm doing this for my kids. They can throw whatever they want at me, but I don't want to be part of the problem that's creating this future that they want, where they control everything and turn us on and off with a switch, depending on what our social credit score is. And because we all know our social credit score may not be very good with their plan. But I mean, that's really what it's about for me. It's the everyday stuff of life. And when we realize that we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars every year collectively on this stuff and handing it to them to fuel their agenda, and even more importantly, taking that money away from our agenda. And when we start funding our agenda with those kind of purchases, that's when we can really make a difference.
And I know that it's very committed to funding into American made products. Does one of you want to talk about how everything is American made?
Sure. They make what, 99% of everything they sell, they make in the United States. They don't white label stuff from China. If they don't make it, they don't sell it. And it's as easy as going to a different website rather than going to Amazon or Walmart. It's just about changing habits. You know, who do you want to support? You know, that's where we're going to go shop. For the past year and a half, my wife won't even go to a store until she checks the company website to see if they have it. And if they have it, she's going to wait the 2 days to get it. That's how committed we've been to this.
And you want to talk about some of those products. One thing I really like about this concept, again, is we are all struggling right now. None of us are immune to the fact that inflation is a tax on each and every single American. Our dollars, no matter if you have a small amount or a large amount, are going not going as far as they did before. We're getting not only hit with inflation, but we're also getting hit with these high gas prices. So again, independent news people and others that are trying to fight, you hate to ask people for donations, and you hate to ask people for support, because you know we're all in the same boat together. We're all struggling. So one thing I really like about Patriot Switch and having this partnership is that it's not necessarily asking for anything additional out of your pocket. It's just asking you to literally make the switch from using that money to buy your toothpaste, your laundry detergent, you know, all those things you would normally buy anyways, which ends up indirectly supporting the media machine and the policies that are against America. Now that money can go toward supporting independent journalism or supporting just American made products. And it's then also taking away some of the funding, because it's hard to, let's be honest, it's hard to compete with like George Soros, right? So do you want to talk about some of the products that you are able to get through this company so that you can make that switch?
Yeah, and it's really, if you think about it, the easiest way to explain it is probably if you think about a CVS or a Walgreens, it's that type of product lineup. It's not the groceries per se. While there's snacks and popcorn and things like that, it's all the stuff that consumables in our life, like the cleaning products like the toothpaste and shampoo and conditioner and the makeup and the skincare and the supplements and the weight loss, over 450 products that they now manufacture in-house from a completely debt-free company that isn't controlled. And then add to it, they've got a whole bunch of other services that we really don't think about much, but a credit card that isn't from one of these big banks that's in bed with the same people that run Tide. I mean, because it all funnels to the same people. Home security service where the data isn't pushed over to the government or whoever wants to spy on us. All those kind of things that can also be part of this switch and really give you the ability to start thinking different. And it's really what it is. It flips a switch in your head that money, once I start moving it, I'm no longer supporting this agenda that I don't want to. And so being able to keep doing that is really awesome. And there's so many products over probably the 6 months, we just started slowly switching our household over, and everything we get from there, because I know where the money goes. And I know that the owner has refused to sell out for over 30 years now. This isn't something where I have to worry that the big check's going to come in and he's going to say, yep, sorry, sold out. They won't do it. And
yeah,
so
they've had multiple offers over the past 3 decades, like you said, and they are just committed to not being controlled by any other interests and just providing these American-made products. I like what you said about slowly switching over, because I'm in the process too. I think I'm only in like month 3, and I'm just slowly switching products, and so it's not hitting my wallet too hard or anything, and I can do it over time. But I like, so far I've been getting the snacks, like these, I thrive on these because I'm always on the go. So I need like a healthy on the go snack that I can grab. So these are great. I also like the Crave Blocker bars that are there. And also I love protein shakes, and this has Crave Blocker in it, and it tastes amazing. So I like the health products so far. The laundry detergent is great. The hand soaps. What else have I gotten? But I'm slowly switching over my makeup. I've noticed that there's some really cool makeup.
And I know that's a hard one for a lot of
yeah,
people, a lot of women.
yeah, but you feel better when you know that the products also that you're getting are natural and are not going to have any of those harmful chemicals in them and everything. So all around, it's been a good experience in switching, because I feel like I'm switching to healthier products, and I know where they're coming from right here in America. And I like that I can do it like in a slow process. So can you kind of explain, either of you, what the process is? I'm going to show like when you go to patriotswitch.com/Christy Lee. This is, I'm going to bring that up and show you what that looks like. So this is the page you'll come to. Give me a second, because I'm slow. This is the page you'll come to. If for some reason you have a hard time going to Patriot Switch/Christy Lee TV, you can just go to patriotswitch.com, patriotswitch.com, and then you can just choose my name. Or, if you see another name in there that you would rather support, that's cool. I just want you to support independent journalism. So obviously I appreciate your support, but if there's another name that you see in that drop down that you would rather,
nobody would do that, Christy. Come on.
I'm just saying, because it's like, obviously I'm going to support the other people that have partnered with you. So it doesn't bother me, but either way, I want you to make the switch. So that's the page you come to. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about what people can expect once they fill out that form?
Yeah. So our process is different. I want to say that right up front. On purpose, it's different. So you're going to go to the site. There's some information there. You'll fill out the form, and then it gets weird. It's like old school. We actually contact you like a living human being, and it's just a patriot on the other end that wants to make a difference in this country. And in today's world, they need to earn some extra income. And people get all weirded out that I have to talk to somebody. but there's a specific reason why we do this. And I think it's so important that we finally get it. Over the last 2 years specifically, we have seen how hard they have tried to isolate us and divide us. They're telling us to stay in our homes, don't go out, don't talk to people. And we have really got to understand we have to push back on that. The human DNA is created for relationships. It's created to interact with humans. And I mean, it's why solitary confinement works so well. Ask the J6ers. It destroys your life, all this isolation. And we're not even talking about, as a country, all the mental anguish and hurt that's been put on people over these last few years. And so we actually talk to you. We tell you about it. We give you the details. We answer your questions. We let you know the whole world's not crazy yet. And we have a good time. So it just takes a few minutes, but it is a requirement from this manufacturer that we start acting like humans again, because he doesn't believe in all this AI and automation and you don't need people. He believes that we need people. And so no pressure. No, we're not selling anything. We're just getting you the info. If you like it, cool. If you don't, that's okay. But that's our process, and it's different. But man, is it good? Because we need to get back to that. We need to get back to real customer service and real relationships, and push back on all this automation and AI stuff that is being pushed on us. And don't think it's not happening for a reason. If we're not together, we can never push back collectively. And that's what we need to do in today's world. So.
Yeah. And, that does scare people when you say that you're going to give a call, but it doesn't have to be a long phone call. It's just like you said, it's supporting this concept of like, hey, let's talk to each other again. And making sure you understand what a big difference you can make by just simply switching out your products. I was scrolling through that page that people can be directed to when they go to patriotswitch.com/ChristyLeeTV. And I was surprised to see that Tom's, even a product like Tom's, which I associate, I don't know what else they make, but I associate with deodorant. And it is
toothpaste.
Okay, and toothpaste. And they say natural, and even they were not necessarily being so honest about that, right?
They were, until they got bought out. And that's what happens over and
okay.
over again. So Tom's has a great story. I mean, literally, they grew the mint in their front yard. They hired handicapped people to go out and make the products in the factory so they could pay living wages. These handicapped people live independently. I mean, how cool is that? And then they got popular enough to get national distribution. And along comes Colgate and says, oh, we control that shelf space, but I'd love to meet with you guys. And you know what? As we're looking at this, you guys have spent your lifetime building this business. It's time to take it easy. Here's your $100 million. We'll take care of everything else. You guys can go sit on the beach. Your family's set. I can't blame Tom, not at all. But we think we're buying from Tom still. And Colgate immediately shuts down their factory, fires all the handicapped people.
Oh, man.
And it's just manufactured right alongside Colgate now. And then the lawsuits start. Wait, you said it's natural, but the ingredients changed. Because they're looking for ways to cut costs, and synthetic ingredients are always cheaper.
And these companies, they don't really care about the lawsuits. I mean, their budget, they already have it in their budget of what they're going to have to pay out next year in settlement money. They know their products harm people, but the profit is bigger than the settlement, so they just keep doing it. And you could throw Seventh Generation in there, Mrs. Myers. They've all sold out, but the other option was probably just go out of business or take the money. So like Sean said, you can't really blame them, but they're pulling the wool over most people's eyes, thinking they're buying natural products from a family company, and they're just not anymore.
I like to try and think of questions that other people might have. And one question might be like, hey, you guys say that this company that I can switch to, that's going to keep things American made, keep them, keep the products natural, and we can trust the products, that this this company, this warehouse has been around for decades now. But Patriot Switch has, I mean, most people have not, or well, not most people. There's still plenty of people that have not heard of Patriot Switch. So, can you explain the connection that Patriot Switch is just kind of like almost become, or maybe explain that to me, like a marketing arm of the already
Yes,
well-established.
and that's the best way to
Okay.
explain it. We're working with a manufacturer that's been in business almost 4 decades, and we are a marketing arm for them. And just as a way to introduce people to it, maybe in a way they hadn't thought of before. And we talked to a lot of current customers, even, or they'd been there in the past. Because I mean, we're talking 4 decades.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people that have used the products, but when they really start to think and like, I've never put that together, that shopping with a family owned company that refuses to sell out actually helps our country. And so that is the relationship there. And the reason that we have basically partnered with them is because we cannot to this day find something that makes a bigger impact in our country than what we have to offer, that everyone can do. This isn't, we're not asking you to go and join and become a governor. We're asking you to just take that money you're already spending and move it away from companies that don't support America and move it to a company that does. And they've got the ability to scale. They've got pricing that's in line with big box stores. And in a lot of cases, you're going to save a few bucks nowadays because they're not stuck in this inflation cycle that so many of these are, where the manufacturer raises the price, then the distributor raises the price, then the retailer raises the price. We're buying factory direct. And so it really is and has been just a great example of how we can all make a difference in today's world.
Now, people like George Soros and the Media Machine, they don't like competition. These companies like Johnson and Johnson, Procter and Gamble, they don't like situations that they can't control. American manufacturer that will not sell out. So, are there any examples yet of attacks made on what you're trying to do? I just get that
There have been some, and we get reporters that'll come through our process quite often. It's kind of funny to see because they eventually try to disclose themselves and be upfront, and then we just brush them away. We don't care. We're not going to talk to you. But one thing I can say is the owner of this factory itself absolutely has been. For years, he has been on, I mean, he was named one of the 8 most dangerous conservatives in America a decade ago. And his company was put through the ringer by our government. He was the kind of, we'll call him the OG of cancel culture, and stood strong because he realized, if I don't stand up, that means they're going to keep doing what they're doing. And I have to stand up and show them it won't work. And so that's what he's done. And I mean, to know that he puts on the largest fireworks display west of the Mississippi every 4th of July, just to celebrate our veterans and just for the sacrifices they've made for our freedom. And I was out there, I mean, just an amazing, amazing patriot that loves our country. And to know that he's on our side, yeah, that's where my money's going to go.
What other common questions do you get that maybe we haven't covered yet, or do you feel like we've covered a lot of?
We've covered a lot.
I try to cover as much as I can in the shortest amount.
No, and I think it really just is. We're not talking any type of long-term commitment here. We hope that you like the products and you like everything about it, and that you do this for the rest of your life. But this is a simple, test it out. Take it on a date. We're not asking for marriage. And see if you like it. They've got a great customer service and return policy and all that stuff, because they know the only thing that matters, they don't have these big globalists funding them on the back end so that no matter what happens, they can keep pushing forward. Happy customers is the only way they stay in business. And they do a really good job of that.
Awesome. So again, I missed your message before. It looks like my name has to be in all lowercase when you do this.
Yeah,
Okay.
after the / lowercase.
Okay, I'm fixing that. So, but like I said, you can always just go to patriotswitch.com, use the drop down and put in Christy Lee or choose your favorite independent journalist. I just want everybody supported. So either way, is fine. But also you are, pushing back on the mainstream media when you do this. You're fighting back against all the indoctrination efforts that are going on right now. And all you're doing is switching products that you would be getting anyway. Somebody asked, like it's made in there, the warehouse, I'm guessing, and has the tag of made in the USA. You want to answer that question?
Yeah,
I'm not sure what, I didn't
Here, I'll show
understand
you.
the question.
Like it's made there and has the tag of made in the USA.
Oh, yes. So it is made in the USA. They've got 2 current factories in the USA, opening a 3rd as we speak. And there are 5 products that are made in Canada due to Canada having different rules and regulations on ingredients and importing, but everything else is made in America. They actually discontinued products. In fact, one good example, they used to make chewing gum. And not many of us know, but once you kind of catch on, it makes sense. Wrigley's owns 100% of the chewing gum market in America.
Wow.
They own every brand. They control all manufacturing,
Crazy.
all machines. So the only way to get chewing gum made in America currently is to go through Wrigley's, and they won't do it. So they used to make it in Turkey, which I don't have any problem with Turkey, but they announced, no, we are moving everything back. And if we can't move it back, we're discontinuing it, because any products we sell in America, we are making in America, period. And that's the way it needs to go moving forward, I think, for every company, because one, we don't know what's coming. There is so much global tension right now. Being able to shore up what we do here is really important, and they're fully behind that.
Great. Any other final words before we tell people how, remind people how they can sign up?
Go ahead, Enrico.
Yeah, well, I just summarized that in 37 years, this company has never given a dime to mainstream media or big tech for advertising. And that's so important because, as you know, there is no media anymore, at least mainstream media. It's like Goebbels' Ministry of Propaganda. That's what we're living in right now. But they haven't funded it, and they're not going to. So that's kind of, what we're doing. When someone calls you or shoots you a text from us, it's just going to be another regular patriot like you and me in a quick conversation. That's all it takes.
Right. So please consider taking the time to have that personal conversation. It can be a quick one, but it's also just refreshing to talk to people that are like-minded. I know Enrico said that sometimes he gets stuck on the phone.
I didn't realize how much therapy there would be in this.
But you can get any of your most detailed questions. Some things we don't want to dive into too much because, again, anything that we try and do to fight the media machine, the evil demonic agendas of the other side, they will try and attack. So sometimes things are better just to have personal conversations. We'll absolutely answer any of any question that you have, but let's do it on a personal basis and try and protect the efforts here of what Patriot Switch is doing. Again, if you entered in late, just to wrap up, we're talking about patriotswitch.com. You can go to patriotswitch.com and choose my name if you'd like in the drop-down menu, fill out the form, and you'll get a call. And just have a quick phone call. Let's connect as humans again and explain how you can start switching the money that you're already using to pay for laundry detergent, toothpaste, snacks, health products, and switch it over to a completely American-made company that supports our values and is not just funding the media machine that lies to us, but is actually helping us independent journalists out to bring you the truth and to bring balance back to the table when it comes to true journalism. So, all right. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys will fill out that form. And thank you to Sean and Enrico. I appreciate you explaining the whole thing.
Thanks for having
Thanks,
me.
Christy.
All right. Well, I will catch up with y'all later. Thank you.